Welcome to Sports Talk 2319. I am your host, Rashad Phillips, and I'm excited to bring to you a new episode today and a crop of new players. And there are some high major teams that have been taking some losses. I got the reasons why they've been losing. Let's go! The player I'm excited to bring to you guys today is Francis Alonso out of UNC Greensboro, 6'3" combo guard extraordinaire. This kid averages about 18 points a game, shoots 43% from the three, 86% from the foul line. Offensively, he's well equipped. This team does a great job of running a lot of sets for him in the half court. He runs well without the ball. This kid is offensively, he's courageous. He's bold, he's audacious, and I love that about him. He can make and take big shots. I watched him against Wake Forest, 31-point performance, shot 11 for 17 against that team. The following game, he plays against Delaware, 32-point performance, shoots 10 for 14. But what really stood out to me was against Liberty, a triple overtime victory, and he took 31 shots. That shows me that this kid does not shy away from the big moments. The other day, they had a huge win against NC State, and Francis led that team with 17 points. This kid reminds me a lot of Jose Calderon with more offense. He's very aggressive with the ball. Again, he can create space. His intellect is very high. He's an old school gym rat. I'm telling you guys to keep your eyes on Francis Alonso because this kid is exciting to watch. Lawan Pipkins out of UMass, 5'11" point guard, averages around 18 points, 5 assists. This kid plays with a lot of passion and desire. Every possession. He's a throwback kid from Chicago, tough-minded kid. Has extended range on his jump shot, great leadership qualities. He's a good on-ball defender. No. Scratch that. He's a great on-ball defender, makes other guards uncomfortable in full court and half court sets. He reminds me a lot of Lindsey Hunter. Coming out of college, Lindsey led the nation in scoring, but once Lindsey got to the NBA, he made his mark on on-ball defense. And Lawan possesses those same characteristics. Led UMass to a victory over a good Georgia team the other day. Shot 6 for 11 from the field, 17 points, 3 for 4 from three. This kid is exciting to watch, and you guys should tune in to the UMass Minutemen. Last week, I told you guys I had some concerns about the Florida Gators, and unfortunately, that came true this week in their loss to the Clemson Tigers. Just watching that game objectively, I just think that the Florida Gators right now are living by the jump shot. And the old saying goes, if you live by the jump shot will ultimately be your demise. And right now, it's holding true to the Gators. They lost to a very good Clemson team. Marquise Reed is as good as any point guard in the country with his ability to stay efficient. 6 for 8 from the field, 22 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. He controlled that game the whole time. But if you look at the Florida Gators, if you look deeper into the statistics, they shot 41% from the field as a team, 24 three-pointers. Clemson shot 51% from the field and shot 11 threes and connected on 5 of them. So if you look at the efficiency of Clemson and you look at Florida's inability to convert in timely situations, I think that's something that I believe Coach White will address. And again, I still believe the Florida Gators can weather this storm. But right now, the schedule just doesn't get any easier here. So let's continue to keep our eyes on the Florida Gators. And I'm personally pulling for them to weather the storm. I want to put a small concern on the Kansas Jayhawks, and let me tell you why. The complete makeover of the team, obviously, from last year, but more importantly, the transition of Devontae Graham from combo guard to point guard. I watched this team against Nebraska. They pulled out a close victory. Nebraska played them really well. They went into a 1-3-1, and it kind of flustered Devontae Graham and the Jayhawks for a quick second before ultimately Devontae made a great play in the lane and kicked it out for a three-pointer in the win. But going forward, I'm concerned about the Jayhawks in the Big 12 this year. I believe that the Kansas Jayhawks will be dethroned this year in the Big 12, not because they're not a good team, but I believe that Devontae has to learn that position on the fly, and you can see it when you're watching Kansas play. It's almost like, let's look football terms, because I'm a huge football fan. I love football. Let's look at it where you have a wide receiver that has to convert to quarterback in one season. There's going to be some learning curves there. And right now we're watching Devontae Graham go through that maturation. But I believe down the line that this kid will perfect that position and the Kansas Jayhawks will prevail going forward in March. He just needs time. Like I told you guys before last week about how the scoring point guard has migrated to the high level side of college basketball. You look at the losses to these big teams. The common denominator to the losses to these high level teams is that their inability to stop the scoring point guard. Let's take Duke for an instance. They had a tough loss against a really good Boston College team, but they gave up 76 points to Chapman, Bowman, and Jerome Robinson. Those are three guards. So if you look at the Kansas game against Arizona State, they gave up 72 points to Trey Holder, Shannon Evans, and Remy Martin. So again, these huge teams, their kryptonite is the scoring point guard. The other day, I watched Wichita State. They could not defend Trae Young. The high ball screen. Coach Kruger has his philosophy to me. Coach Kruger has coached in the NBA. So his philosophy is very simple. Spread the floor, high ball screen, and see if you can stop my scoring point guard. And Wichita State could not stop Trae Young. Like I'm telling you guys before, the scoring point guard has migrated to the high level side and is causing major damage to a lot of teams. I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode as much as I did. But before we go, I want to leave you guys with one of my favorite quotes. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Rashad Phillips, and this is Sports Talk 2319. My expertise info on college basketball players? Want to perfect your own play? Order my training DVD collection now at www.rpskillsunlimited.com.